Hello. Hi, everyone. Like Kim said, my name is Olivia Owens, and I am the creator and general manager of IFundWomen of Color, and I could not be more excited to be here today. Events like this is exactly what IFundWomen of Color is about, bringing women of color together to talk shop, to learn from each other, to connect, to grow. That's really the power that's in us to leverage each other to get further faster. And today I'm going to be talking all things funding, specifically crowdfunding, but I do think it's really important to talk about the funding landscape that's out there. I know Alicia and Kim just talked about venture capital, but I want to go through the different ways that we're able to access capital for our businesses and then talk you through how to leverage crowdfunding as a tool for your business. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We're going to jump in. This is going to be a lot of information in a short. It's important, and we're going to get through it. All right, so Kim gave you an overview of who IFundWomen of Color is. We're a platform dedicated to supporting diverse entrepreneurs, providing access to the capital, coaching, and connections needed to launch and grow successful businesses. We talked about this. While Black women only receive 0.0006% of VC dollars, the reality is only 1% of founders, regardless of their gender, ever access venture capital. So the question remains, what are the 99% of founders supposed to do to launch and grow their businesses? It typically starts with self-funding. I'm sure many of us on the line here today are familiar with this. This is putting your own funds into your business to get it off the ground, whether that's simply you securing your domain name and building your first website, or maybe it's going into your own pocket to manufacture the first line of your product. We at IFundWomen firmly believe you should not go into debt funding the earliest days of your startup, which is why we're so dogmatic about crowdfunding, but I'm going to dig into that in a second. We also love grants at IFundWomen. We have grant after grant coming out for Black women right now. Our partners understand the importance of putting capital into our hands. And so if you aren't following IFundWomen, make sure you are. We currently have a grant program running with the Financial Gym. They're doing $2,000 grants plus 6 months of financial training from the Financial Gym. Apply for grants. We try to make it as easy at IFundWomen, where we have a universal grant application. So you fill it out once and then you're in the running for any grant programs that come up. And a little later, I'm going to show you our platform so you know how to leverage it. The next are small business loans, pre-PPP. Getting access to business loans, particularly for women, is extremely difficult. They want to see traction. They want to see a certain amount of revenue. And so that might be an option that you pursue later down the line in your business. Going to spend a ton of time on crowdfunding. But then, of course, equity investors. Bringing on investors may be something that you want to approach down the line. But what I also know is many of us enter entrepreneurship because we're looking for that freedom and control over our businesses. And so the first thing that we do with all of our entrepreneurs is stop and say, okay, what is your overall vision for this business? Is this something that you plan to run for many, many years down the line? Is this something that you want to have an exit on? You want somebody to buy it? Based on that long-term desire, that's how you want to think about what are the different funding options that I'm using for my business to make sure that I'm keeping the control that I'm looking for. So what is crowdfunding? Crowdfunding is when you, the entrepreneur, raise small increments of money from lots of people that you know that adds up to just enough money to achieve a specific goal. And by specific goal, I mean whether you want to manufacture the first line of your product, or you need to hire 3 team members, or you're trying to open up a physical location. When you're approaching crowdfunding, you want to have that clear goal in mind, because that's going to help you determine, okay, how much do I need to raise in order to achieve that goal? And then it also helps you rally your community behind you to help you achieve this thing. And so as you're sitting here, I want you to be thinking about what's something that I could crowdfund for, that I could get my community to get behind, and how much might that cost me to make it happen. And so at IFundWomen, we've built out a method for how to approach a crowdfunding campaign. There are a lot of myths out there about what goes into crowdfunding. And honestly, the reason I launched IFundWomen of Color is because I wanted to help women of color see themselves through the lens of crowdfunding. My mom crowdfunded on the platform, which is how I initially found out about it. She raised $30,000 for an app that she's developing that's like Weight Watchers for your finances and helps you pay down debt, save, and invest your money. And so I've seen this tool work for my mom. I've seen this tool work for women of color. But I also recognized in my coaching that when I was talking to women of color, there was this deeper hesitation behind crowdfunding. And I think the two main pieces that stuck out were not feeling super comfortable with the vulnerability that comes with crowdfunding. It is turning to your community and asking for support. But the way we position it at IFundWomen is it's not about asking for donations or charity. It's about providing value to the people in your network in exchange for cash for your business. And then I'd say the other piece of it is not feeling like you have a strong enough network that you can turn to. And so my response to that is, okay, it's time to start building the network. It's time to start reaching out there. I'm going to talk through some tactics for that as well. But okay, back to the method. So we have these 4 steps that we take our entrepreneurs through to ensure they're setting themselves up for success. The first one is honing your pitch. It's so important that you have clear, concise messaging that explains the problem that you're solving and how your product or service solves that problem. You also want to talk about why you are uniquely qualified to start and run this business. One of the biggest mistakes we see when it comes to the pitch is sometimes when we ask entrepreneurs what their business is, they'll start with, well, 5 years ago, I was here and I had this problem. And you might be a minute in and still not clearly understand what their business is. So IFundWomen has built a pitch script template for you that's set up like a Mad Libs so that you can easily and simply enter in the information about your business and come out with a concise pitch. We start here because it becomes a living and breathing document that you're going to continue to edit and build upon. But you want to make sure that when you step into your crowdfunding campaign, you have your pitch down, you feel confident about it. And then that's what you lean on when you make the ask. You just deliver your pitch, let them know what you have going on and have a clear action item for them to take. And that's the work that we do. And your pitch starts to drive all of the messaging for your campaign. It becomes where you pull for your social media content, for your email marketing, and so forth. The next step of the IFundWomen method is network mapping. So a reality about crowdfunding is the majority of the people who contribute to your campaign are people that you know or people who have been exposed to your brand before. And so it's really important to get a clear understanding of the size of your network in advance of launching your campaign. And I'm not going to lie, this is definitely the most tedious component of prepping for a crowdfunding campaign, but it's also the key thing that is going to guarantee your success, an understanding of where these funds are coming from. And so we always say Netflix and network map, spend 30 minutes a day going through. And if you're that person that has that stack of business cards on your desk and you haven't done anything with them yet, this is your opportunity to do something with them and put it into a formalized place for you to pull from. We recommend doing your network mapping first so that you get a clear understanding of what are the different buckets of my network. So I have my fellow entrepreneurs, I have moms in my network, I have my colleagues, and so forth. And so once you have those buckets laid out, then you can start building your reward strategy. And so IFundWomen is a rewards-based crowdfunding platform. So that means you are selling your products, services, content, experiences in exchange for cash for your business. And so you want to make sure that the things that you're offering are adding value to those different people. Some of the people in your network are going to be in your target audience, so they might want your product or service, but there are also going to be people in your network who may not want your product or service, but would want to support you for your business. So for example, let's say you're building a tech app for moms, and you have a bunch of entrepreneurs in your network who aren't moms, but in your prior career, you are a marketing expert. And so you are able to offer marketing consultations or a webinar or social media templates, whatever. Everything that you offer through your campaign doesn't necessarily need to relate to exactly what you're raising funds for. The key piece is that it adds value to the people in your network. And I'm going to walk you through some campaigns to show you exactly how they did that. And then the last piece is your accountability tracker. So Your crowdfunding campaign is going to run for about 30 to 45 days. You want to give people enough time so that they can take an action, but you don't want to give them too much time because you do want to create that sense of urgency. And remember, it can take 5 to 7 touches to get somebody to convert. So part of your accountability tracker is making sure you're getting those touches in. You're posting on social, you're reaching out to people one-on-one. And when you're reaching out, you're making a clear ask. It's not, hey, if you can contribute to my campaign, that would be great. It's, hey, I know you mentioned you were struggling with your marketing. I'm offering this exclusive marketing consultation through my campaign. I think it's perfect for you, and it would really support me. And so that gives the person an understanding of exactly what you're looking for. And you can even be so specific to say, hey, if you could contribute $30 to my campaign, that'll go a long way. And then that person isn't sitting there wondering, well, how much is she expecting me to contribute? How much is appropriate? Again, you want to make it as easy as possible for these people to show up for you. And so I'm going to switch over to our website. If you go to IFundWomen.com, this is what you're going to see. Under Raise Capital, you can start crowdfunding, start building your campaign. We also have a ton of different tools and resources under there. That's where you're going to find that pitch template. Underneath our grants page, that's where you're going to find the different grant programs that we have running and the different ones that we see out there in the industry that are great for our entrepreneurs. Under Get Coaching, we offer coaching. The reality is everyone needs a coach, especially if you're a first-time founder, so that you don't have to make those first-time founder mistakes, especially if you're a solo entrepreneur. You can have somebody where you can bounce ideas off of. We do coaching in a bunch of different ways. All of our workshops are free right now. We made them free as soon as COVID happened to be able to make this information as accessible as possible. And we record all of our workshops. They're saved in our library. There's a wealth of information in there. Just click workshops and head to our workshop library. If you want to join our Slack network, click the network. If you want to apply for IFundWomen of Color, it's right here under Make Connections. And then if you want to check out the different businesses that are on our platform, right there at the top, we have a page where you can see all of the Black-owned businesses. And then we break it down by different industries. And so that's an overview of how to navigate IFundWomen. And then I want to jump into some campaigns. So our very own Kim Roxy ran an IFundWomen crowdfunding campaign and had a massive success. And I want to walk you through the different rewards that she offered to give you an understanding of how you can approach this. So at the time, Kim wasn't selling her products through her campaign. She was raising the funds that she needed to be able to bring these products to life. And so she knew there were people in her network who wanted access to her as a founder. And so she offered a founder coffee date as one of her rewards. Simply at the lower level, you can do social media shout outs, promote somebody on your Facebook, on your Instagram. People like to be highlighted and celebrated. And you want those lower dollar rewards to not cost you any money out of pocket and to be a really low, easy lift for you to deliver on. She offered a makeup bag, a handwritten thank you note, a mirror cling. And you'll see she has rewards at all different levels, a brow masterclass, so that if somebody comes to the page and they're like, okay, well, I'm interested in spending about $100, you don't have 3 $100 rewards for them to try to choose from. It's really easy for them to select and carry through. And you'll see the rewards go all the way up and through at different price points. So that's an example of Kim. There's also a video component to your campaign. People want to see you talk about your business, why you're so passionate about it, and get an understanding of what you're raising funds for. You'll also see that our platform is extremely flexible. We built this with the woman entrepreneur in mind, understanding that things happen, understanding that one of the biggest mistakes we see people make is picking a funding goal out of thin air. We allow you to adjust your goal. We allow you to create stretch goals and continue to raise above and beyond that initial 30 to 45 day window. We want you to win. And let's say you set a $50,000 goal and you only raise $30,000. $30,000 is extremely hard to raise and is a success. And we want you to be able to portray that. And then another example of a campaign that actually sold their products through their campaign. So this is an example of how they set it up. They were focused on selling their lipsticks. You could get 2 lipsticks and a mirror for $50, just a simple monetary contribution. You could get the package of all 4 lipsticks at $100. You could get virtual or IRL coffee date with the co-founders. You could get coaching on product development. If you're interested in starting a beauty brand, but you're not sure where to start, they're experts, so they can coach you through that. A simple downloadable that people can get to make their phone screen background or share on their Instagram story, and so on. And so that should give you an idea of kind of how a campaign comes together, the back end behind it. Typically, these workshops are at least an hour, so I wanted to pack it in so that you can get access to everything. But IFundWomen also does free coaching on crowdfunding. We have a free crowdfunding e-course that you can get access to. And I want to open it up for questions to make sure that before I walk out of here, you all feel empowered to leverage crowdfunding as a tool for your business. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and hop on with Alicia to do some Q&A.
So I jumped on Olivia because I'm going to do the Q&A with you.
Yes.
And I am so excited because you are just a shero. You know, you're one of those unsung heroes that sometimes people don't even know in the background of working. So thank you.
I appreciate that. And right back at you. Yeah.
Thank you for everything you've been doing. So I'm going to grab real quick the questions we have in the chat. Someone asked, I'm looking here to see a question that I have actually. Oh, here's one. Is IFundWomen like Kickstarter, where people are donating, or more like Republic, where they get equity? And you already answered this, but I'll let you kind of go into it a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. So there are 2 different types of crowdfunding. There's rewards-based crowdfunding, where you're selling your products, services, experience in exchange for cash for your business. And that's where IFundWomen plays. And then there's equity-based crowdfunding like Republic, where you are selling ownership in your company. We really see IFundWomen as the first stop on your funding journey. Prove demand for your product or service before you invest in supply. The reality is the majority of startups fail, and we want you to fail fast and fail cheap if you have to. But you're also able to leverage the traction that you get from your crowdfunding campaign to approach different funding options. So if you go to an angel investor and say, hey, look, I was able to raise $30,000 from 400 backers. This is a testament to the fact that my customers are hungry for this product, and I just need X amount of capital from you to be able to leverage this and take it to the next level. So we are on rewards-based crowdfunding, no equity exchanged.
Christiana asks, does your business have to already be operating? So I guess basically, you know, can it be pre-launch, even if it's for an app or something like that?
Yeah, so that's the great thing about crowdfunding. It can be pre-launch. It allows you to test this idea out in advance. And so the minimum that we require for your business to launch a campaign is a website and your social channels. You do want to build some type of presence for you. People want to be able to go to your website and see how much work and effort you've put into this thing before they fund you. But you can absolutely be pre-launch, and you can absolutely pre-sell your product or service through your campaign.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Also, you know what? I just found out.
What?
That you found out about this because your mom crowdfunded.
Yes, she did.
I did not know that was your mom with that financial app.
Yep, she's a boss in her own right. And so happy that I found IFundWomen, and I'm so happy to be sharing it with everyone here.
Yeah, that's really huge. So basically, it doesn't matter how old you are, anything like that.
Not at all.
With that, do you need SEX? Do you need to have an LLC in order to access the resources?
Not at all. Our resources are free and accessible. The only thing that you have to pay for on our platform is one-on-one coaching with our expert coaches. But we can help you from simply idea stage of your business.
So you got a shout out for Latoya.
Yes, Latoya.
She said that she loves IFundWomen, and she did it for her pre-manufacturing.
Yes, they were one of our OGs.
Yeah, one of the OGs. And you never know. Sometimes you have to look it up and see who's crowdfunding. I think you answered this question. How long should a crowdfunding campaign be? That's from
Yeah.
Christina Cox.
Yeah, so we recommend in terms of prep, about 6 to 8 weeks. It's a little on the longer side just because there is that video component to it. And so if you don't have a video for your business yet, it's going to take you some time to shoot it, do the editing, and so forth. And then in terms of actually running your campaign, it's about 30 to 45 days for the campaigns that have raised six figures on our platform. Their raises took a little bit longer, maybe closer to two months. But we recommend about 30 to 45 days.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you, Olivia. Thank you to IFundWomen of Color. We one of the business owners, one of the vendors are going to win a year. Can you tell me what year membership looks like?
This is huge. So you, for a year, get access to 2 coaching calls a month with an IFundWomen coach, and we help you goal set. What do you want your business to look like in the next 12 months? Here are the different steps that you need to do to take this. This is where you need to be in 6 months, 3 months, a month. We hold you accountable to those things. And then we also coach you on every topic from product to marketing and sales, to crowdfunding specifically, to raising venture capital. Our coaches are here to support you and walk you through it. And we know how crucial it is to have that one-on-one support. So really excited to be able to offer that today.
Yes, I'm so excited because that's a $1,500 value. And one of them are going to walk away with that package today that can end up changing their business just amazingly. So thank you, Olivia.
Thank you.
Y'all give it up for Olivia. Give it up, give it up, give it up.
Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you, Olivia.